Yo, Wyatt begins in like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Wyatt, and I'm your host, Wyatt O'Brien Evans. Grrr, woof, God damn it, woof, woof, woof. Ha ha. Hey, a reminder for my YouTubers. If you like what you see, if you like what you hear, click the subscribe button on the bottom right of your screen. Just click it, click it. I love to click it. Yeah. All right. My listeners, I've got one hell of a special treat for y'all. My special guest is Mr. Pam, the award-winning, legendary, and incomparable director who certainly made an indelible mark in adult entertainment. In this exclusive Wyatt Sit Down, Mr. Pam discusses her journey in the industry, her extensive body of work that includes hundreds of films for major diverse studios, and so much more. And she also gives us a 411 on her own studio, Wham Bam Pictures. So this effervescent and outspoken filmmaker will be pulling up to the mic post haste. Oh yeah. And yo, after the show, visit my online home, WyattEvans.com, the go-to destination for LGBTQ news, features, commentary, and entertainment. WyattEvans.com is visited by more than 100 countries on the regular, and it's growing. And at WyattEvans.com, you'll find the 411 on my erotically charged and steamy hot Nothing Can Tear Us Apart series of novels. The current installment is Frenzy! And the sequel, Delirium, drops right before Christmas. A quick programming note. Madam Pussy Galore, Cock-a-Doodle-Doo, Drag Queen Supreme will be back next week. I'm sure we all can't wait for that. Anywho, let's jump head first and knee deep into today's show. My listeners, we got a lady in the house. Oh, hell yeah. Wyatt presents an exclusive sit-down with Mr. Pam, the legendary multi-award winning and incomparable adult entertainment director, videographer, photographer, and producer. And y'all, she's worked for an array of big-name, high-end studios, including Naked Sword, Lucas Entertainment, Black Scorpion Video, the COLT Studio Group, Hot House Entertainment, and Jet Set Men. And my listeners, let me tell you something! Mr. Pam is one freaking bad mama jamma. You see, she holds the unique position as gay adult entertainment's only female videographer. Way to go. And check this out. This multi-hyphenate artiste was 2021's Gay VN Awards Hall of Fame honoree. So without further ado, Wyatt, welcomes Mr. Pam. Talk at me. How the hell are ya?
Oh my God, what an introduction. I call you every morning of my life and you can just repeat that. Oh my God, your booming voice. And those of you who can't see him, he's so sexy and like and have that introduction from such a hot man. Like, thank you. It is Sunday Fun Day and it is starting off right. Thank you. Wow.
Oh, wow. Well, you know what, Mr. Pam, I want to thank you for being my very special guest on Wyatt, because I've been intrigued with your career, and it's so good to have you on.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I just kind of do my art and somehow people like it. And here we are, I think about 18 years later, I've been involved in shooting pornographic videos. And yeah, it's awesome. I love it. I wouldn't change anything in the world.
Well, listen, Mr. Pam, you know the first thing that I'm going to ask you, right?
God, I don't know. To dinner?
Oh,
what?
Oh, listen, we can definitely talk about that at the end.
Okay.
Well, no, look, when we get off air, we can talk about that. However, for right now, I'm going to ask you, how did you get that moniker, the alias, the name Mr. Pam? Because inquiring minds want to know.
How did that happen? Is she really a man? Is she really a woman? Is she somewhere in between? Yes, all that. Yeah, it was so funny. I had an internship in grad school at San Francisco State, and I was late, as I warned you, on getting a project done, and we had to do these informational interviews, and I had one more to go. So there was this totally awesome gay guy in my class, Mark, and he's like, well, come over to my house. I have a post-production video editing studio. Come over and you can interview me. I'm like, okay. So I go over there, and it ends up that his clients were like family videos, United Airlines, and then gay porn. And I'm like, whoa, God, you really do this? But he was awesome, and I wanted to learn video editing, so I started interning with him, you know. And since I was new, I got all the crazy gay porn videos to edit. And then people liked it, and then we started editing for Falcon Studios, which, you know, is having their 50th anniversary this year. Like they're one of the pioneers. And Chuck Holmes was the founder, and so they're sitting around the conference table watching one of my edits and looking at the director, John Rutherford. He's like, hey, you know, I really like this edit. You know, who's your new editor? And he was really nervous about telling Chuck that a woman was editing his porn movies. So he kind of kicked his assistant under the table and said, oh, Mr. Pam. Oh, is that an Asian fellow? And then the name just kind of stuck.
An Asian fellow, okay.
I'm an Asian fellow by the name of Mr. Pam.
Because you know what? My mind goes to Ms. Pam, so I have to really focus in Mr. Pam, Mr. Pam, Mr. Pam.
That happens a lot. I think it's compliments. I mean, I love like getting dressed up and like ultra fab glam and like walking, you know, a red carpet at an award show. But I'm also a total tomboy. I love just rolling around in the mud and just getting dirty and ironically getting the shot. We've shot at some really crazy, dirty locations. So the combination of the Mr. and the Pam, it just works. Like, I mean, Pam by itself is kind of boring. So I love this nickname, and you know, when people even ask, "What should I call you?" I'm like, I actually prefer Mr. Pam.
Well, you're my type of woman. You know what I'm saying? well, you know, let me ask you this though. Now, you are Gay Adult Entertainment's only female videographer. What's it like to be a major player in the so-called boys club?
You know, it's been interesting. When I first started at the very beginning, I was like second camera doing behind the scenes. My first big break was to do a behind the scenes documentary for COLT Studios, had just reinvented themselves, and they were going to do a big movie, Buckaroos. And I was working in the high-tech industry for news.com. I was an interactive designer there. And then I got this opportunity to go out to this cowboy ranch and shoot behind the scenes of a gay porn movie. And, you know, I'm like, yeah, let's go out. So at the beginning, it's funny because I literally was the only girl. Some guys loved having me there. Other guys hated having me there. When I started kind of moving up in the ranks and being like the director of photography, I'd arrive on set and people would ask if I was the makeup artist. I'm like, no, I am going to be my camera up your butt. But it's been interesting over the years, and I think, you know, I'm quirky and I'm weird and I'm super sexual and I'm a Sagittarius. I just say things.
Wait a minute. You're Sagittarius?
Yeah, are you?
Me too. December the 8th.
Oh my God, me too.
What?
Seriously?
No, my God. Listen.
We have the same birthday.
What? Listen, no wonder you're my kind of woman.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
That is so wild. Are you
That
for
is
real?
nuts. We really have the same birthday. How funny.
Oh my God. That-
Wow.
you,
I'm like speechless for a second.
hey, look, my listener, she's a bad mamma jamma. I'm, well, wait a minute. Well, oh my God, I'm blown away. Okay, let me smooth this out a little bit. Okay. I want to congratulate you on being last year's 2021 GayVN Awards Hall of Fame honoree.
Yes, I was.
Wonderful.
That was awesome.
And you know what? And what I found, what I laughed at is during your acceptance speech, you said, and I quote, "I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, but I knew this was where I belonged." End quote. Let's drill down on that, Mr. Pam.
I didn't. I was driving out to that cattle ranch. Like, literally, what the fuck am I doing? I just quit my corporate job with a 401k and a salary, and I'm driving out to shoot gay intercourse. I don't know. But that first night, we had this lovemaking scene with these cowboys in a barn, and I was there rolling around in the hay, getting dirty with my camera, and I just had this epiphany, like, this is where I belong. It was so weird that night. And then that movie ended up winning Best Picture, Best Choreography, Best Director, Best Acting. Like, it literally swept the awards that season. And I'm just so blessed to be on such a high profile, amazing, wonderful shoot for my very first porn shoot. And it just kind of set the standard for the rest of my career of like what is possible, you know? And it's changed. I mean, everything's changed. We had a 14-person crew or 14-man crew and me on that shoot. And, you know, now we're down to me, like in my my camera and my whole light kit and kind of doing everything myself sometimes. And I love my gay boys and I love sex. And I recently started shooting trans porn, trans women, which is awesome. I love them.
I want to ask you about that a little bit later. Yeah, that's interesting. Well, I tell you what, before we really drill down into your celebrated and storied career, I want you to take my hand so we can travel down through the journey, just take that journey through the corridors of time so that our listeners can find out about your backstory. Ooh. Are you ready to go?
Let's get deep.
Let's get deep.
Okay, everybody, we're holding hands.
Yes, we are.
I'm kind of scared, but I'm excited. You know, if it scares you, you should do it.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So, where were you born and raised?
Oh, God, it's really random. I was born in Milwaukee.
Wow.
Wisconsin, but pretty much a California girl. My dad was in the wine business and he was just out there for a year doing some kind of job thing. And then we moved back to California. So pretty much Northern California, I wasn't born, but raised there north of San Francisco on the other side of the Golden Gate Bridge. And lots of Catholic school. 12 years of Catholic school, which kind of answers a lot of your questions.
Well, that leads me to ask you this. As a little girl, a little nipper, what three characteristics best described you? Give me three.
Ooh, that's a good question. An artist. I was always super creative. I was always the leader. People tended to follow me, but I had a teacher around third grade who said, "Oh, Pamela's, she's a born leader. She just happens to lead everybody in the wrong direction." And I was also just kind of a sexual kid. And I don't know if that's okay to say, but
yes,
I was a sexual kid. Like I was, thought of horny. Like I thought of all these scenarios, and I'd get books from the library and bring the kids outside and read like the kind of sexual passages. I got caught like making out and getting whatever by this boy behind the school, like in 8th grade. Like I was always sexual. It's kind of funny. And, it's so taboo now to even say that, but kids sometimes have a sexuality and, and I think sometimes it's repressed. Oh God, I shouldn't even be going down this path. But
no,
in my own journey, and my mom and dad would always say, "Oh, your hormones are overactive." And it's just so funny that I ended up in a career where I could do my art. I've always loved cameras, and I had my first video camera when I was about 14. My first photography camera when I was about 10. I've been taking
Wow.
pictures since then, and then being a sexual kid, like it all kind of led to being, I guess, a really successful porn director.
You know what? Listen, it's really important just to be your authentic self and not repress the different sides of yourself, you know?
Yeah.
So, hey,
Yeah.
I mean, hey, what the hell?
What the hell? I had a great childhood. My parents were so awesome. Like, you know, I wasn't abused or anything. Like, really, like picture perfect childhood. But somehow I was always the naughty one and always getting into trouble. So yeah, that first day, that's right. That first day when we were on set for my first porn shoot, I just kept thinking like it was kind of like I was at camp, but I was hired to do all the naughty things instead of getting grounded. Like I would when I was little. I'm getting paid to do this? This is crazy. Okay.
You know what, though? I did my research on you, Mr. Pam, and I'm going to reference a Gay VN article written by Brady Jansen, and he said, and I quote, it might come as a shock to people that in high school, legendary gay porn director Mr. Pam, a self-described crazy, freaky, bisexual hippie from San Francisco, was in so many ways so conventional, end quote. Let's talk about, what did you mean by that, Mr. Pam?
That's interesting. I mean, I was kind of a picture perfect high school kid. I guess I got in a lot of trouble in 8th grade. And then high school, I was on student council all 4 years. I played volleyball. I was a cheerleader for 2 years. I did swim team. I organized all the dances. I was senior class president.
Wow.
Yeah, I was a person maybe some people hated, but I was cool. Like I was friends with everybody. I don't think I was snobby. I like to be in charge of things, and yeah, just school class itself was kind of boring. So any excuse to get out of class, yeah, school dances, the prom, everything. Yeah, I was really, really involved in school. I went to Marin Catholic High School in Kentfield, California, and it was a cool school. And yeah, I had a great high school experience. It was fun.
Well, my listeners, Mr. Pam is wearing this wonderful shirt. It says Ass Hunter.
I know, I was thinking this was a video.
I know.
And I just started a clothing line. It's Wham Bam Style. So I'm actually wearing one of my clothes. I have all these other clothes sitting here. Is going to show up.
Nice.
But, this I Love Butt Sex backpack. Here with a matching mug. I love butt sex. So yeah, we'll put a link wherever you put links, and you guys can all check out my new merchandise line.
And Wyatt is going visual in like 6 weeks, so you got to come back later.
Yes.
However, question for you here. I believe that your first job in high school significantly shaped your adult entertainment career. Is that correct?
Ooh, God. It could have been, because my first official job, I was a hostess and then a waitress at Bobby McGee's. I don't know if it's still around, but everybody wore costumes, and everybody who worked there was like a mixture of gay guys and then really awesome guys who moved there from Cancun. So we had these really hot, kind of dirty, naughty Mexican guys and then gay guys. And we'd have these after parties and we would all just get a little freaky. But
yowza.
I really realized I just loved the gay guys. They were so much fun. Oh my God, so much fun. And and then I started thinking, am I gay? I don't know. Or do I just love the gay guys? And then I came out as bisexual kind of sophomore or junior year in college. And still to this day, I love boys and girls. There's both, neither. I've dated trans people. And it's just all about energy and the person, I think. Gender doesn't really matter. Pansexual, I guess. That's what we could call it.
I keep telling you, Mr. Pam, you're my kind of woman. However, having said that, let's move on to 1996 when you were in grad school for video production at San Francisco State.
Yeah.
How did that impact your eventual journey into adult entertainment?
I went to undergrad in Sacramento State. Then I was supposed to go to an exchange program in London for the year, and it fell through. And that was right when I was about to come out, and I'm like, fuck it. Let me just like move to the Castro in San Francisco and come out to my parents and, go to grad school. Why not? I love school. Learning. I had an emphasis in industrial arts with video production. And that's actually when I had that project that was late and went and interviewed the guy who ended up being a gay porn editor, and then everything just shifted. And then ironically, I was going to do my master's thesis on the dyke porn industry, and I just kept getting all this pushback from my teachers saying, this doesn't exist, who cares, we don't need this. I'm like, well, you don't know anything about it, so that's why I should do it. Because I was putting on a lot of like dyke sex parties, and we were trying to put on this big dyke porn that was going to revolutionize porn for women. And then I just never got the project approved. And then I started working full time, and you have 7 years to complete your project. Like, who can't get something done in 7 years? That was me. Never got it done. And then I just jumped into porn. And I'm like, I'm actually living what my project was supposed to be. So it shifted gears. I mean, I learned what I needed to in school, and half the reason I wanted to go to grad school is possibly to teach. But I think I have enough cred under my belt if I ever wanted to teach. I think they might overlook the fact I didn't get that one paper done.
Yes, you do. Okay, I want to get serious for a moment here.
Oh God, are you gonna make me cry?
Oh, no, don't cry. No, but seriously, in 2003 and 2004, Mr. Pam, you lost your dad and sister suddenly and unexpectedly.
Yes.
And I was reading through the research that made you reevaluate what you wanted in your life.
Yeah, that was horrible. That was really a shitty time. I kind of graduated grad school, and I was working at CBS News and had the most perfect job, and my parents are proud of me being this, senior interactive designer. And then suddenly one day my dad woke up and he just couldn't breathe. And it was right around the time of SARS was happening. And he just died. Like, he was 60. He was in the wine business. He just started another company, like, awesome dude. And he just died. And I just went up to my mom, and met her at the hospital, and she's freaking out. What am I going to do? I'm like, okay, I'll take care of you. I got this. I felt like at that moment, like, all of a sudden I was adult. Like, okay, I'm in charge of the family now.
Right.
And then it was like a year and 17 days later, my little sister Kim had just graduated graduated college, and she went on this tour through Europe and South America. Sorry. Toured through South America, and she just got home, and she was going to go see a concert with some friends, and then they got in a car accident, and then she died.
Oh no.
And it was like my dad had just died literally a year before, and now my awesome little sister Kim died too. And it's just, you can handle a parent dying. Like, that's kind of how it's supposed to go. In some ways it was liberating. My dad was very strict. But just to lose, a 22-year-old sister, like, wow, I was 30. There's 8 years difference between us. And I just went on short-term disability. I tried to go back to my job. And by that time, the dot-com boom in San Francisco had changed. It just wasn't that fun. And I was just literally sitting at my desk crying. And I started directing the show for Naked Sword, the Tim and Roma show. We kind of do it on the weekends. And then I just went to Tim, like, hey, are we going to keep doing the show? Because I'm miserable at my job, and I can't do it anymore. Like, my sister always said, like, you work too much, you need to travel. And I feel like her little travel soul jumped in me. And then I got that opportunity to go shoot the documentary for 3 weeks, and just said, fuck it. And I drove out, and it's like I lost half my family, and all of a sudden, porn brings people together for really strange reasons, and a lot of people have fucked up lives or fucked up childhoods, and they're just looking for something. And it's like I found a new family with the porn industry, and yeah, and I wish, you know, every day I could still have them back in my life, but at the same time, I had options. Like I could just go get hooked on meth, which, you know, I had dabbled in drugs, you know, early in college, or just take this opportunity and just go big. You know, like once that happens, nothing else really matters. Who the fuck cares? You know, I just lost my dad and my sister. Half of my awesome family is gone. Fuck it. Let's just do something completely unconventional. And you know, and I'm thankful that they gave me those gifts. And but dude, it sucked.
You know what? You know, I'm so sorry, and you made the right move, and we are here, and we're the beneficiary of all of your wonderful talent and your beauty and your everything. And you might think I'm trying to suck up to you, which I'm not.
No, you're gonna make me cry.
Well, how did you exactly meet Tim Valenti, CEO of Naked Sword?
When I was a waitress at Planet Hollywood in San Francisco, I ended up meeting some friends. And my friend Spike and Allie had this friend Sean, this gay guy, and they're like, "You would love Sean. You guys are like twins." And so Sean was actually working at Naked Sword. And then he said, "Oh, you know, my boss has this show they're trying to do, but I think you would really, you know, help them out." So Sean introduced me to Tim Valenti. And yeah, brought me in, and it was so fun. We would just do such random shit. And again, to like get paid for doing random shit. It was really fun. Like Tim just loved to like break rules and just start new things. You know, he's an amazing businessman and just really funny. And Sister Roma is hilarious. You know, she's like an icon in San Francisco. So working with the two of them, and we would just go to different porn sets and interview the directors and models. And it was amazing to hear how everybody does everything. And then all of a sudden I'm on my own porn shoot and I'm doing what they did, but I already had this almost like a master class of all the biggest porn producers and models and how it all worked. So yeah, we did that show for years. It was really fun. I just met so many people.
That is amazing. Well, Mr. Pam, you've had such longevity. You've been in the business for almost 20 years, right?
Yeah, I think so. 19, I guess.
Okay. Of all of the productions that you have filmed, directed, which ones come to mind more readily? Which ones do you think you made the greatest impact?
I think the most like heartfelt and moving one for me was with Lucas Entertainment, and Michael Lucas brought me to Israel to go shoot. And that was just, I was so scared to go shoot gay porn in the Middle East and no idea. But he had really strong ties with Israel. You know, he's Jewish, and he was actually getting a co-citizenship, I guess. And yeah, and he took me out there, and I just was so nervous, but it was such a beautiful country with beautiful people, and just to see, you know, Tel Aviv is super gay, so it's fine, you know.
Really?
Yeah, we get to our we had in Jaffa, old Jaffa, we had rented this condo, and I had a beautiful room, and it overlooked the Mediterranean Sea, but in the back was a little closet that was also a bomb shelter. And so there were just little things like that, like, okay, this is beautiful and gay and everything's wonderful. But then just the turmoil that's going on in the Middle East, and to get to see that, we went to Jerusalem for a day, and we were just shooting, you know, our hot gay guys walking around, and we got lost for a second. We were in this alley, and our crew from Israel, you're required to join the Israeli army when you're from 18 to about 20. And so all of our cast and crew were former military. So it was just weird to see them going from super gay guys to like really stoic and just very serious. And we took a wrong turn and ended up down this cobblestone street in this little this little kid comes up and just starts screaming at us in Arabic, and just I couldn't understand what he was saying, but the hatred in his voice was like, wow, there's so much going on in this region, and there's so much hate that's taught to the kids on both sides.
Right.
And, you just always pray for peace in the Middle East, Israel versus Palestine, and to go over to Bethlehem, which is technically occupied territory, and shoot there. It just was fascinating. And ironically, to shoot all of our scenes outside. Like we shot all of our gay porn. So I had traveled there with Michael 4 times. We shot 3 movies, and then we went again to do like a tourist video. And then I was creative director at Lucas Entertainment. Then I missed my mom and wanted to move back to California. So I took over Naked Sword Originals and started that. So I actually went back myself and shot, and then shot Kiss in Tel Aviv. So we're putting on a hustler ball party and shooting a movie there, and just to go back by myself and reconnect with everybody. And that movie ended up winning Best Picture, and I won Best Director.
Nice.
And
yes,
it was awesome. And again, shot everything outside, which is so crazy. But when you're surrounded by countries who all want you dead, like gay porn is the least of the government's worries. They're just more worried about terrorist attacks than guys fucking each other in the ass. So. So I think that was just the most memorable. And I'm so thankful to Michael Lucas for just showing me Israel and the travel that I did with him. I mean, I've shot porn in maybe, I was trying to add it up, I think 13 or 14 different countries around the world.
That is amazing. That is, I'm talking to a freaking icon here. I love it. Damn.
I know. Michael took me to Moscow, to Russia, to shoot the very first month I was working there, because it was his brother's wedding. So we went out, and again, like, gay porn is not legal. Like Putin, he hates it. And, so to go there again, we shot in Moscow and St. Petersburg, and coming through customs, coming back, that was scary. That was my scariest customs.
Oh, yeah.
Luckily, Michael was there, and he forgot how to speak English because he'd been speaking Russian the whole time.
Oh, no.
We're going through customs, and we have all these, at the time it was tapes. I labeled everything grandmother's birthday, Pavel's wedding. So I'm just crossing my fingers, going through customs, oh God, please don't catch on to what we're doing. And then Michael's saying something to me in Russian. I'm I don't know what you're saying. He's do you have a hairdryer in your bag? And it was my vibrator. I'm and I acted all embarrassed. No, down there. Oh my God. And they got all embarrassed. They rushed us through customs. So thank God my vibrator saved me from getting arrested in Moscow.
The vibrator saves the day. I love that.
Thank you, Hitachi.
Listen, that old Whitney Houston song, Love Will Save the Day?
Yeah.
Well, the vibrator will save the day. I love it. Okay. Now, listen. Okay. I hear you bring fun to the filth, and that your number one rule on set is to have fun.
Yeah.
So come on, talk about it. Talk about it to us.
It really is. I mean, it gets stressful. I do really high-end stuff. I just started working with Adult Time and Disruptive Films, and I've done a lot of dialogue movies with, Naked Sword and Lucas, and those days, we have so much to do, and getting the dialogue and getting the sex, and, but at the end of the day, it's a porno. Come on, let's have fun. And I always go back to sitting in that beige cubicle at CBS News. At least I'm not sitting in that beige cubicle, And I do this porn prayer a lot before I shoot, and I have everybody hold hands in a circle and just, thank you, porn God, for bringing us all here today. And I go through everybody in the circle and just thank them, and, that we're all present and we're all going to be on this adventure of the sex scene we're about to shoot. And, and then, at the end, do everything to the best of your ability, especially for what we're about to do. And, for most of all, have fun, because it's a fucking porno. On the count of 3, can I get a gay man? 1, 2, 3, gay men. So I just try to keep it light, to have fun and feed the crew. If you're having fun, you have music and you have food, people are genuinely down to be there. And invested in the project.
Well, you know, Mr. Pam, by your aura, your social media images, you really exude fun. And I love that so much. However, now, my gut tells me that you do not suffer fools gladly. You don't take crap. You're all about your business. Am I correct about that?
Oh God, I try. I try. It's nuts. I mean, I'd worked for studios forever, and in the pandemic, the world's coming to an end, and I just saw a little window of like, let me just start my own company. I'm gonna quit this really awesome, safe, great job at Naked Sword and Falcon, and start my own company. So June 30th, 2020, I filed the LLC for Wham Bam Pictures.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and then I left Naked Sword about a month later, and I've been on my own, and saying you want to do something and actually doing it are two totally different things. I gotta admit, there's some days, last Friday, one of my models popped for COVID. We had to reschedule the shoot, and I just had a breakdown, and I was just in bed under the covers all day. Like, I can't do this. I'm not a business owner. What am I doing? And then just push through. And the next day, like, no, don't fuck with me. I got this.
Well, I mean, I'm in awe because I know that establishing your own studio must be one hell of a undertaking. Yeah. I mean, it's ballsy, it's savvy, but the important thing is you're really doing what you want to do.
I am. Yeah.
So tell us all about the studio, where are you going to take it in 5 years, what you're doing now with it, that sort of thing.
I just, right after I left my job, I kind of kayaked for 2 months.
Wow.
I took a little break, and really did some soul searching on what I wanted to do. And, and as of now, Wham Bam Pictures, predominantly it's a production service company. So I have different clients. Kink.com is one of my main clients. I love them.
Nice.
I'd worked with them back when I first started. I was editing for them about 20 years ago in San Francisco. So Peter Ackworth is back. He took a little hiatus. He's the owner. They just bought this. This is a scoop. They just bought this massive property here in Vegas, Kink Island, 2 weeks ago. And so they're revamping everything, and it's really fun, having them as one of my clients. And I love Kink. I mean, it's naughty. It's, it's intense. And so I love them. And then I have, another client, Boys Halfway House, which is like a POV shot on an iPhone. It's so easy. It's so easy. And then Disruptive Films, which is great. Bree Mills just launched that about a year ago. And I helped work on a big project, the last course that just won Best Picture at the Expo Awards.
Nice.
So just the variety and having just this kink, crazy, beat people up, then Disruptive, which is super high-end cinematic, best acting type things, and then little POV stuff. I just launched my own OnlyFans, and I love doing trade content with the models. And that is really fun too, because again, show up in a hotel on Vegas Strip with an iPhone and what do you guys want to do? And we all trade the content, and they're just so happy to have me there shooting really good stuff that people could actually see. And I just love the fluidity of it. That's super fun. So I've been doing that too. And then, as I said earlier, I just launched a clothing company and merchandise.
Nice.
So I had COVID over Christmas, and I couldn't go to my mom's, and I was just in bed getting bored. I'm like, you know what? Let me just launch a Teespring store. So I just launched that while I had COVID, and it's been really fun. It was kind of a good practice to selling something myself, and selling scenes on OnlyFans, or eventually having my own paid studio site. There's emotions involved and models and everything, but t-shirts don't really have emotions. So this Ass Hunter t-shirt I have.
Ass Hunter.
It was a good experience for me to shift gears from providing services to studios to really doing my own thing and having my artistry come out. And again, I don't know why that's been terrifying for me, just to do my own thing. I mean, you just put yourself out there and people are going to love it. They're going to hate it. They're going to talk shit. I mean, I try not to read the blogs because people say a lot of nasty things about me. Mostly,
about everybody.
Being a woman and being in gay porn. But yeah, I just fake it till you make it. And I just got this new ring, actually, that says fuck 'em.
Oh, I love that.
And when I get scared or worry about what people are going to say, I just look down at my ring, fuck 'em. Fuck 'em.
Yeah, just fuck 'em. Fuck 'em. But you know what? I mean, I have to give you your kudos because it takes a lot of intestinal fortitude, a lot of planning, a lot of savviness, a lot of guts to do what you're doing. And speaking of new studios, I want to thank JD Daniels for connecting us. And he just founded Lux Studios. So what are your thoughts about JD and Lux? Do you think Lux might be that game changer?
I am just so proud of him. Actually, I was jealous. I'm like, good for you. He just, he found an investor. He started the studio. He went to Palm Springs, hired one of my favorite people in the world, one of my best friends, actually, Brian Bonds, which is such a good move on his part to bring Brian in for his first production. And, it just takes balls to do that. And I'm really proud of him. And he was one of the lead in the Raven Eden Awards that happened recently. Right. And, I think he won a Lifetime Achievement Award as well. And
Performer of the Decade.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And just, props to him. So JD, you have inspired me because me having 18 years in this industry and literally a bookcase full of awards, and I'm scared to take that jump, and he did, and good for him. And everything coming out so far is looking awesome. And, JD, keep it up. I'm proud of you. You inspire me.
Well, let me ask you this. You said that you're starting to, you recently started directing trans women porn.
Yeah.
So how is that different, Mr. Pam, than filming gay porn?
It's in some ways it's really similar because a lot of again, this is just people I've worked with. I'm not talking about the whole trans community, but just the girls that I've worked with so far. Their sexuality is very similar to gay guys. They love eating ass. A lot of them are tops. A lot of them like the little twink boys. And I think they like working with me because I have such a huge gay porn background where when they work with other studios, they try to make them act like women, but that's not deep down inside a lot of the sexual activities that they enjoy. So they come to me and could I eat ass? I'm like, God, yeah, do it. Oh my God, if that's what's going to make you come, yeah. What do you? So sexually it's very similar, and they're just so pretty. They're so pretty and amazing, and I've learned how to be a girl often from the trans woman. And when I was back in San Francisco, I was really involved in nightlife and drag shows and everything, and again the costumes and the makeup and the contouring and shoe size and where to buy larger shoes. And, and I remember thinking when I did all this nightlife stuff for years, why am I doing this? It's got to lead to something. And I just felt like it was happening for a reason. I didn't know why. And then now that I'm in Vegas and shooting, tsseduction.com and Transfixed for Adult Time, okay, there's some similarities. The thing that sucks is hair and makeup. God, that's complicated. And
how so?
I mean, the gay guys show up, and if they, have a couple zits or something, I can do guy makeup. Sometimes we'll even contour abs. I mean, yeah. But, the girls show up, and it's, girl makeup and the hair and the eyelashes and the outfits. And sometimes I'll just throw gay guys. We shot a scene for Kink Men last week. It was the first scene we shot at the new Kink compound with two of my favorite people in the world, Chris Weston and Draven Navarro. But, they were in a sand pit. And they're just dirty and fucking in sand. Where the girls, I don't know if a lot of them would want to be in a sand pit.
I see your point.
It's a little bit more complicated, but it's a fun challenge. Like, okay, what are you going to wear? And I just bought all this stuff on Amazon, like little outfits for the girls. So I'm starting to get a little bit more wardrobe. Because before it was just underwear, now like, little bustiers and harnesses and, skirts and thigh highs. And so it's different. And I like the challenge. And also, I mean, one reason I've always loved working in the porn industry, specifically gay, is, really LGBT rights and getting exposure. And it's just amazing that some pictures I take of two men kissing, just how it's a political statement. There's a lot of countries that's not okay, not acceptable. So,
absolutely,
there's an underlying, political agenda in what I do. And especially now with, trans rights being more in the forefront and getting more, attention and to help the girls out. Like, these are awesome people. Some people were born in their bodies and they're fine, and other people aren't. And some people, there's a wave, and if some, to just be patient and accepting of that. And trans community is awesome. And I'm proud to be putting beautiful imagery out of these amazing women and helping tell their stories and show their true sexuality.
Nice. Now, I want to talk about work-life balance.
Good God.
Listen, look.
Which I don't got.
Right. Well, I was going to ask you, Mr. Pam, because you're doing so much stuff. You're involved in so many projects and causes. How do you do it?
Oh God, I'm really working on that. I think now having my own company, it's helped a lot. In some ways I work more, but I don't have to clock in and be in an office at 10 a.m. God, that was hell. I work from home. Over last summer, it was so funny. I would I really found kayaking here in Vegas. It's like my zen. So, I'd get up super early and go out and kayak and actually bring my laptop in a cooler because it's 110 degrees, and I'd work out of the car, for a couple hours. And trying to exercise more. I think that's what was really missing in my life now. And now, like every day at sunset, I go and walk my dog and exercise. And I think just keeping that up. Come here, Angel. Come say hi.
Yeah.
Here, let me get poop. This little guy.
I love dogs. Is it a dog or a cat?
It's a dog.
He's a Chihuahua, right?
He's a Chihuahua. And
he's cute.
He keeps me sane.
He's so cute.
Yes, like days that I'm just on deadline and I haven't left the computer, and he comes up to me around 4 o'clock every day, like, Mom, we got to go on a walk. This is what we do. I mean, how can you resist this face?
He is so adorable.
I just love him so much. He's on set all the time, and he's such a good set dog. And he just sits in my suitcase and waits for cum shots, and then he knows that we're done.
Okay, you know what? That leads me to my next question. What do you love most about shooting porn?
God, the adventure of it. I mean, when I have a camera in my hand, like, the world is just better. I remember when I really first started shooting, somebody told me that, like, the only reason I used to shoot for a queer news magazine show in San Francisco. So it'd be news. So he's like, you're there because something exciting is happening. So it's always going to be interesting because you're there to record something. And I don't know if I'm saying it right, but so that's stuck in my head, and I don't get turned on. I think a lot of people ask me that, but I would get turned on visually, if something like the lighting's right and the models are just on it and we've got that energy and, it's just like magic. Like it really just, it puts me in a great mood. And I do a lot of office stuff, and I think I just want to hide out in my PJs and arrange these shoots. And I always get nervous before I'm shooting, and it's so silly because I've been doing this forever, but I just always get nervous. But then we're there, we got music going, we're starting to do the photo shoot, and it's just, we're vibing. And at the end of the day, I'm like, God, that was awesome. That was just so fun.
Yeah, see, you didn't have any reason to be nervous, but I totally get it.
I know. I just get so nervous. Silly.
Well, let me ask you this. How can other women be successful and make their mark in this male-dominated adult industry?
Oh, I recently went to the XBiz Awards, and it's a little bit more straight than gay. Like, surprisingly, there isn't a huge interaction between gay and straight porn. It's been very separate. So it was really awesome to be there and see so many like women directors and women models who are now, writing stories or starring in movies about themselves. One of the big trans porn stars, Casey Kisses, helped write a movie for Adult Time with Joanna Angel and Brie Mills, and having her story about being in a biker gang come up, and they won for that. And so it was awesome, because normally it's just me and a sea of dudes, but just to see all these other women in porn and being very, very successful. And I think, at least for me, and I apply this all over, like when my girlfriends ask, like, I'm not getting this promotion, because I'm a girl. I don't have the right office because I'm a girl. Like, they're not listening to me because I'm a girl. Like, I could never play that card my whole career, because honestly, I don't belong in gay porn. Like, this is for gay dudes, and all of a sudden I'm there. So having never been able to play why am I not directing this? Why am I not getting whatever because I'm a girl? Like, no, well, what's really the problem? Am I not speaking up? Am I speaking up too much? Am I being a bitch? Am I not reaching out to the right people? Am I not coming prepared? Really, what is it? Don't go to that default of whatever might be, your issue. Like, I can't do it because I'm a woman. No, there's something else there, because I'm doing it and I've been very successful. So what has made me successful? Oh, I'm funny. I'm easygoing. I'm really responsible. I'm really dependable. If I say I'm going to do something, I will do it. And that's what made me successful. The fact that I'm a woman actually worked against me this whole entire time, but I never let that stop me. What is it that I'm doing that I'm not achieving what I need to do? What is it? Yeah.
I got it. Mr. Pam, what I like so much about you, number one, we have the same birthday, of course.
That's so crazy. I'm still dying.
But, you have such a great aura. You're effervescent. You're outspoken, and you're just damn authentic.
Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what do you have going on for the rest of 2022? I know you must have like a slew of projects.
God. I know, God. I mean, we're really getting, kink.com up and running again. It's been really fun being a part of that. TS Seduction and Kink Men, and Disruptive, and Adult Time, Transfix, doing stuff like that. And I think the thing that I just need to bite it and start really shooting my own content. And it's something that I've been nervous about, but my daddy, Chris Weston, last week, he was here helping me shoot, and we had a cancellation again. And so instead of shooting that day, he literally drugged me in my office, like, we're going to start your OnlyFans. We're going to start your Just for Fans. You're sitting on these things. Do it. It has to be perfect. No, it doesn't. Just get it up. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to get done. It'll get more perfect as you keep doing it. Just do it.
You know what? I'm glad you said that, because I have the same issue. And I've really had to work at it, that everything can't be perfect, because if you wait for everything to be perfect, you won't do shit. You will not do anything. So, and sometimes the imperfections make it more believable, more authentic. Don't you think?
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, look at you. You were doing it. I've been wanting to have a podcast forever, and I admire you because you're doing it, and you have this vivacious personality, and you're fun, and you're warm, and you researched. Nobody researched. You totally researched, and you came prepared.
Yeah.
I may not have the most perfect studio mic set up right now and whatever, but we are talking and it's getting recorded, and you're doing it, Wyatt. So props to you.
I really appreciate that because I'm also a journalist and I have to do my research because I've got to give my guest his or her full due justice. I mean, because I don't want to come across as, I don't know what I've got to talk about. I mean, I don't know about this person. Hopefully she or he will fill in the blanks. No, no, no. You've got to come prepared. Yeah. But anyway, how do we follow Mr. Pam? Give us your websites, your social media, all of that wonderful stuff.
Oh my God. Well, I should start out with the OnlyFans. You could go to whambamMrPam.com, WHAMBAMMRPAM.com. And that leads directly to the OnlyFans. And then Twitter, it's Twitter, just at MRPAM, Mr. Pam. Instagram too. I'm really active on Instagram. It's kind of my favorite. So that again is at MRPAM. And then the clothing thing, buy some of buy shit you don't need. That's whambamstyle.com. It's a Teespring store. And I think I might be shifting focus a little bit. And when I get big projects, I want to have some kind of like a mug or a shirt that was featured in the project. So, porn pillows or porn mugs. And a lot of the boys that I work with, want to collaborate on extra photo shoots and some wall prints too. So that's been pretty fun too. But yeah, Twitter, Instagram, OnlyFans, all over the place.
Well, you know what, Mr. Pam, I could go for porn pillows. I really could go for them.
Porn pillows. I make pillows on my own. I was just doing these for fun. Like, here's one with my dog.
Oh, I love it. See,
I should make them that people could buy instead of having them like all over.
Well, you know what? When you come back to Wyatt, we will be visual, and I want everyone to see all of your stuff, all of your merch. I want to see it all.
Woo! Yes. Oh, awesome. Oh my God, you're so amazing.
Well, Mr. Pam, thank you for stopping by Wyatt. I expect you to please come back.
Yes. Oh my God, I would love to. I will be decked out in my I Love Butt Sex stuff. And, then everybody can see your cute face and meet Poop, my dog.
Oh.
You could follow him on Instagram too if you want like a dog version of what it's like shooting porn. That's pretty funny.
I love it.
Chihuahua. But thank you so much. God, you just really made my day. I've been so stressed out, and it's moments like this, like, keep going. Like, people notice, and I hope to inspire people out there. And, just when tragedy hits, I could have just sunk down the rabbit hole, but instead just grab life by the nuts and live to its fullest. And thank you. It was really awesome. Your research was just groundbreaking. Very cool.
Well, thank you, Mr. Pam. I greatly appreciate it.
Yay. Awesome. All right. Big kiss.
So there you have it. You can find the official Wyatt podcast page on WyattEvans.com. The official hashtag is Wyatt on Air. And if you want to be a guest on Wyatt, or you just have comments, email me at WyattOnAir@gmail.com. And you can follow me, Wyatt O'Brien Evans, your host, on Facebook.com/Wyatt O'Brien Evans, on Twitter at Mr. Woe, MISTERWOE, and on Instagram at Sir Wyatt Official, SIRWYATTOFFICIAL. And be sure to check out my Nothing Can Tear Us Apart series of novels, the latest being Frenzy. I said Frenzy. And its predecessor, Rage. All at WyattEvans.com. So until next time, y'all, woof, goddammit, woof, woof, woof. Yowza.